Hi everyone, I am the Sarcastic Sloth, and welcome to my channel. So today what we're going to be doing is discussing an article that I saw that came up on Twitter. It's basically covering a topic that I've known about for a very long time, but it's actually addressing the issue with said topic, and that is Call of Duty and racial slurs and racist names, basically, that keep popping up. I know, what a surprise, you would never have thought those two go together. So let's crack on with the article. So the article came from a post by Kotaku. I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing that correctly, and if I'm not, then I'm not really too worried about it because it's the first time I've ever heard of them, to be quite frank. The post itself is Infinity Ward says it will step up its efforts to crack down on racist slurs in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Call of Duty Modern Warfare developer Infinity Ward will take more steps to find and ban players using racial slurs in their in-game display names, as well as other measures to keep racist language out of its game, it said today. The Call of Duty community got louder about the issue in the wake of publisher Activision Blizzard making statements of support for the ongoing Black Lives Matter protests currently taking place in all 50 states, with members of the community including the news site Modern Warzone calling the publisher to put its words into action and scrub its games of the racial slurs that some players use in their handles. So this is in the wake of Infinity Ward posting on their Twitter, "There is no place for racist content in our game. This is an effort we began with launch and we need to do a better job. We're issuing thousands of daily bans of racist and hate-orientated names, but we know we have to do more, and we are." So in the following bullet points they're stating, adding additional resources to monitor and ID racist content, adding additional in-game reporting systems to increase the number of bans by hour, adding filters and greater restrictions on name changes, evaluating in-game improvements to make it easier to report offences, and increasing permanent bans to root out repeat offenders. We apologise to our players. This is our commitment to you, our fans. Thank you. And that was issued on June 3rd, 2020. The article continues, "In these past months, I have personally observed players with display names of I hate N-words, N-words Slayer, and barely disguised Knee Gear Slayer 69, with the clan tag Noose. The words were not censored in the game." Oh, how terribly, terribly witty of them all. So the article continues, "By no means are disgusting displays of racism new to the Call of Duty online experience. Both Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 were often filled with swastikas and clan themes via the game's custom emblem creator. It's been a systemic problem the entire time. I don't know why they're focusing on those two games. It's just... Anyway, we'll save that for later. Some players are looking to counter the hate by changing their clan tags to #BLM. Cleaning house on the abundant use of the N-word and other slurs should be the absolute least Activision Blizzard can do, given its stated support for standing against racism. Hopefully Infinity Ward's actions will make Call of Duty's statements feel like more than empty words." Okay, so I wanted to follow up this article with a story of my own in relation to Call of Duty and racism, in particular the N-word, because it has been for a very long time, for some bizarre reason, synonymous that people use that word within Call of Duty especially. It's not completely isolated to Call of Duty, absolutely not, but there is something about that word in particular and the racist slurs in general and Call of Duty that seem to go, up until now, hand in hand. And I know I'm not the only person that's noticed this either. So when I was in university, me and my friends, we'd gone out on a night out, as you do of course. We all went back to one of my friend's rooms and we were drinking, and for some reason he decided to jump on Call of Duty. Bit rude. If you're hosting in your room, you would imagine I don't know, maybe be getting involved, but whatever. If he wants to play on Call of Duty, that's up to him. So he starts playing on, I can't remember, it might have been Modern Warfare 2.
Hello,
oh my
darkness.
God. We're all, we're playing, we're having a laugh. I think might have been jamming on guitars in the background. And all of a sudden, I hear him saying the N-word with a hard R about 2 or 3 times. So I turned around, I said, "Oi mate, do you want to cool it with the N-word? I mean, why the hell are you even saying that?" I don't know about you guys, but in the UK, that's not really a word that you hear thrown around too much, at least not in the circle that I inhabit anyway. So he goes, yeah, sorry mate, I was just getting so caught up in the game. This guy keeps sniping me, man. I said, no, it's, just don't do it again. You know, like I said, we'd all been drinking and all of this, and even though I'm not prone to racist outbursts when I'm drinking, you know, we'd only just met each other over the last couple of months, so I didn't have a good measure of him as a personality. So, and also he was younger than me by a few years, so I thought, right, maybe it's just some stupidity on his end. And then we keep going and we're jamming and we're still having a good laugh and everything. And then all of a sudden, N-word with the hard R comes out again. God, would you stop doing that, you... So I walk over, I switch off the Xbox, he starts kicking off. Oh, what are you doing that for, man? Oh, I was in the middle of a game, that's ridiculous. I said, no, what's ridiculous, man, is that you're throwing around that word. I don't think you fully get what that means. And he goes, oh yeah, it's just, you know, it's just a bad word to call black people. I said, no, I mean, that's the tip of the iceberg, man. You've summed it up in the most basic of ways, but ultimately it's down to, it's a word that will dehumanize people, it will segregate people. It's a word that was used at once upon a time when it was okay to keep black people in zoos. It was perfectly thought normal of at one point. It was also a time when they used to lynch people in front of white people's families whilst they have picnics. So it's not just some casual word. It's not like calling someone a, you know, just name any other casual swear word. I mean, we're British, we've got enough swear words, man, and you don't need to be using that. It's crazy. So after, you know, obviously it kicked off a bit and he apologised, because it was a case that he didn't fully get the gravity of what he was saying, but the point I'm making is he wasn't getting that from any of us. He wasn't getting that from his everyday life. He was getting this from Call of Duty, and I'm not going to pretend that Call of Duty is the only game that does this, because again, taking it back a little bit further in the past, when I used to play Halo PC, I remember me and my friend Raf, who's a mixed race dude, we used to play Halo PC, and the service would pop up at one point where it would be rednecks only, no N-words allowed. We're all just there to play Halo, man. We just want to play some Blood Gulch, for Christ's sake. And then you've got someone who's taking a game and putting these negative connotations upon it. It just struck me as really bizarre. So obviously we used to go in there and just torment them. Yeah, so it's a systemic thing that has been going on for a long period of time. Like I said, the Call of Duty incident, that happened about 10 years ago. The Halo incident happened maybe 3 years prior to that. It's amazing to me that it's only just come about at the hand of there being protesting all around the world. Where I live in particular, we've just taken down a statue. Well, I live near Bristol, I don't live in Bristol. We've just taken down a statue of a slave owner, like, and that's one, if you don't know anything about Bristol, that's one of the most multicultural, diverse, liberal, chilled out cities that I've ever been to. Sure, it's probably got its dark side. I'm not going to pretend like every city is a paradise. I don't believe in utopias, I just don't. It's just doesn't happen, unfortunately, but there's no reason for us to have these reminders that one group of people used to own another group of people in the middle of the bloody town, for Christ's sake. So anyway, you know, getting back to the point at hand, am I pleased that Infinity Ward are actually going to be doing something about this? Absolutely fantastic. I couldn't praise that enough. Am I surprised and disappointed that it's taken this long? Yeah, of course I am, man. We're playing video games, for Christ's sake. It's one of the reasons why I don't play online anymore. I just can't be bothered. Well, one, I don't play COD online anyway, because it's like, it got to a point where it just became Counter-Strike. It's just like, it's not fun unless you're sleeping with that controller under your pillow. I like to just pop in there, have a quick go, and fuck off and live my life. At least some changes coming about. I'm hoping through all of these instances and all of these protests and these things coming to light as well of like previous misgivings, not just in Call of Duty, just globally right now. I'm hoping that we can at least take some steps forward. I don't pretend that this is all gonna put a band-aid on everything and make everything better, because that's not possible. But hey, it's like that kid that I was talking about where I switched off his Xbox. He just, like, he didn't know enough. Ironically enough, he was from Bristol, so that's actually quite funny. My point is, do I believe in free speech? Absolutely. Do I believe in hate speech? No, man. And do I believe hate speech when there's going to be people of all ages. So there's going to be people from my age, there's going to be people who are older, and most importantly, there's going to be people who are younger, and they're more susceptible to using words that they don't fully understand, and they have no concept of the history behind those words and the pain that they can actually put people through. That I find very concerning, and I feel that needs to just be, we need to pull the plug on that. It just doesn't need to happen. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment. If you really liked the video, then you could subscribe. That would be absolutely banging. Stay safe out there.